Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm truly glad you're here today because I want to share something very close to my heart. This isn't just a simple story. It's a real experience from my own life. It changed the way I see many things, and maybe it can make a difference in your life too. But before I begin, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel stuck while learning English? Do you feel that no matter how much you practice, you're still not improving the way you hoped? Maybe you watch videos, read lessons, or listen to podcasts, but when it's finally time to speak, your mind goes blank. You feel nervous, the words disappear, and suddenly you start doubting yourself. So sit back and make yourself comfortable. We're about to start a beautiful new journey.
This is for those who feel they cannot do it. But I want to tell you today, you can, and you will. Because learning English is not just about grammar, it's about life, it's about dreams, it's about never giving up. When I was a child, I loved stories. My grandmother would tell me bedtime stories, and I would listen with wide eyes. But as I grew up, I realized something. All the stories I wanted to read were in English, and I didn't know how to read them. I felt stuck. My friends laughed when I spoke in English. My teacher said I was slow, and I believed them. I thought maybe English was not for me. But deep inside, I had a dream. I wanted to speak English like those heroes in movies. I wanted to read books without stopping. I wanted to understand the world. And so, one day, I made a choice. I decided to learn, no matter what. Learning English was hard. I started with ABC. It felt like I was a baby again. People around me spoke so fast. I couldn't understand. I couldn't answer. I felt embarrassed. I felt small. Every day I would sit with a small dictionary. I would write 5 new words, then 10, then 20. I would repeat them. I would forget them. And I would repeat it again. Sometimes I cried. Sometimes I felt like quitting. But I remembered my dream. I remembered the stories. And I told myself, don't give up, Robert, not yet. After months of learning, something changed. One day in class, the teacher asked a question in English. I raised my hand. My heart was beating fast. I stood up and answered. The words were not perfect, but I spoke. The class was silent. Then the teacher smiled. "Good job, Robert," she said. That was the first time someone said good job to me in English. I felt proud. I felt alive. I knew then that I was not wasting time. I was growing. As I got better, I started reading small books. Children's books, then short stories, then novels. Books became my friends. I would sit alone for hours, reading, imagining, dreaming. I learned new words, new ideas, new feelings. One day, I read a line in a book. It said, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies." That line changed me. I realized that learning English was not just about passing exams. It was about living more, feeling more, understanding more. But just when I thought I was doing well, life threw a challenge. I had to give a speech in front of the school. In English, I said yes. But inside, I was scared. What if I forget? What if they laugh? The night before the speech, I couldn't sleep. I practiced in front of the mirror. Again and again. The next day, I stood on the stage. My hands were shaking. My voice was low, but I spoke. Slowly, clearly, honestly. When I finished, the hall was quiet. Then came the applause. I smiled. I had faced my fear. Not all days were easy. Some days, I felt lonely. But then I found a group of friends. Friends who also wanted to learn English. We started practicing together. We helped each other. We laughed. We made mistakes. And we learned. One of them, Sarah, became my best friend. She told me, "Robert, you are not alone. We're in this together." And that made all the difference. Later, I discovered the internet. YouTube videos, podcasts, English songs, English movies. I started watching cartoons in English, then movies with subtitles. I listened to songs and wrote down the lyrics. My world opened up. I learned accents. I learned new expressions. I started speaking more confidently. I even made an English-speaking channel. I had just 5 subscribers, but it didn't matter. I was practicing. I was improving. But even with all this, there were bad days. Days when I made silly mistakes. Days when someone laughed. Days when I felt like I was not good enough. One day, I made a grammar mistake in front of a group. They laughed. I felt hurt. I went home and cried. I told my mother, "Maybe I'll never be good." She looked at me and said, "You're already good. You just don't see it yet." That night, I wrote on my wall, "Don't give up." One day, a new teacher came to our school. Her name was Mrs. Carter. She was kind. She spoke slowly. She believed in us. She said, "English is not just a language. It's a way to connect hearts." She gave us writing assignments. She made us act in plays. She corrected us, but with love. One day she called me after class. "Robert," she said, "you have something special. You can inspire others." Her words stayed with me. They gave me wings. Years passed. I finished school. I went to college. I studied English. I started teaching others. But I never forgot my journey. The pain, the struggle, the dreams. I promised myself, one day I will share my story. I will tell the world that you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to believe. And today, I'm keeping that promise with this story. During my college years, I met an old professor named Mr. Wallace. He had taught English for over 30 years. I asked him, "What's the secret to learning English?" He smiled and said, "There's no secret, Robert. Just listen, read, write, speak, and love every moment of it." He taught me not to chase perfection. English is like a river, he said. Let it flow. Don't block it with fear. That day, something clicked inside me. I started enjoying the process more. I stopped worrying about small mistakes. One day in college, we had a group debate. The topic was tough. Everyone looked nervous. When it was my turn to speak, I stood up calmly. I looked at the audience and started. At first, my voice was shaking, but then I saw someone nodding, someone smiling. It gave me courage. I finished my part and sat down. The teacher clapped. She said, "That was powerful, Robert." That one sentence gave me enough strength for a whole year. Sometimes, one good word can change your life. As I continued learning, I realized something. English was not just a subject, it was a feeling. It was a way to express love, anger, pain, and joy. When I started writing poems in English, I found a new side of me, a softer, deeper side. My first poem was called The Boy Who Dreamed. I wrote about myself, my fears, my hopes. I shared it in class. Some people cried. One girl hugged me and said, "Thank you." I felt every word. That day I learned that words can heal. After college, I started teaching at a small school. My students were shy, just like I used to be. I looked at them and smiled. "Don't worry," I said. "I've been where you are." I made English fun. We sang songs, played games, acted in short plays. Slowly they opened up. One day a student came to me and said, "Sir, I love English now, because of you." I went home and cried, not from sadness, but from pride. Years later I received a letter. It was from Sarah, my old friend. She had moved to another country. She wrote, "Robert, I still remember how we studied together. Your voice gave me strength. I teach English now too. Thank you." I smiled. Our friendship had gone far beyond classrooms. It had become a bond of hope. One night I sat down and looked back at my life. All the times I cried, all the times I smiled, all the times I wanted to give up, but didn't. And I realized something. Every small effort, every tear, every word had led me here. English was not just a language for me, it was a symbol, a proof that dreams come true when we don't quit. I started a small group online. I called it English for Everyone. I invited people from different countries. We shared stories. We practiced together. We supported each other. One day a girl from Brazil said, "Robert, your story saved me." I was going to quit, but not now. That night I slept with a smile. People asked me, "Robert, why are you still learning? You already teach." I answered, "Because English is a journey, not a destination." Every day I learn something new. A word, a phrase, an emotion. And every day I share it with the world. Through stories, through videos, through love. My videos started reaching more people. Messages came from India, Egypt, Japan, and more. People said, "Your voice gives us hope." I never expected this. I just wanted to share. But I realized, when we speak with truth, the world listens. That evening, Robert sat alone in his room. He looked out the window. The city lights sparkled, but his heart was full of questions. Was he really good enough? Could he truly become a teacher of English? He remembered all the times he cried, all the nights he stayed up, all the moments he felt alone. But he also remembered the smiles, the support, the stories he read, the students he helped. His phone buzzed. It was a message from an old friend. "I saw your video, Robert. You've changed my life. Thank you for not giving up." Tears filled Robert's eyes. He knew now. He didn't come this far just for a job. He came this far because he had a mission: to help others believe, to help others rise, and to remind the world that no matter how hard life gets, we must not give up on English or on ourselves. Remember this: every great journey begins with a single step. Yes, the road will be tough. Yes, you will face moments of doubt, fear, and failure. But those moments do not define you. What defines you is your choice to keep going, to stand up again after every fall, to believe in yourself even when no one else does. Learning English is not just about words or grammar. It is about breaking barriers, opening doors, and unlocking your true potential. It is about connecting with people, sharing your story, and making your dreams come alive. So, to everyone listening, if you ever feel tired, lost, or ready to give up, remember Robert's story. Remember that you are stronger than your fears, braver than your doubts, and more capable than you realize. Keep pushing forward. Keep speaking, reading, and writing. Keep dreaming. Because your journey matters. Your voice matters. And the world is waiting to hear what only you can say. Don't give up. Not now. Not ever. Your future is waiting.